During this latest Ebola outbreak, media coverage emphasized the need for full body protection of healthcare workers in order to prevent contamination and disease transmission. Looking at the different personal protective equipment, PPE, used by the healthcare workers, we noticed that some minor changes could increase their safety. We did not find any PPE like the ones we envisioned. That is why we shot this video. As an example, we looked at the standard PPE used by Doctors Without Borders to protect themselves against Ebola in West Africa. It is composed of protective goggles, a shoulder-length surgical mask, a full-body apron on top of a fluid-resistant or impermeable coverall, 2 pairs of gloves, and boots. On the right side is the double-layer PPE we propose. In addition to the standard PPE already used, a face shield would better protect the healthcare worker's face from any fluid projection. We would also suggest to replace the full body apron by a fluid-resistant or impermeable gown in order to completely shield the workers and prevent any skin contact with body fluids from sick patients. This gown may be more difficult to remove by the workers alone and may need the help of another person. To facilitate the removal of this gown, front loops can be added. To minimize the risk of contamination of the helper, we also propose the use of a protection screen such as those used in contained environment enclosures. Here, we compare both protection gears and the contamination risks after removal of the first PPE layer. In the example of PPE presented here, the red area indicates zones that may have been in direct contact with body fluids, while the orange area represents a zone that could be contaminated during the removal of the outer PPE layer by the healthcare workers themselves. The PPE we suggest would decrease risks of self-contamination as it entirely covers the body of an outer protective layer corresponding to the green zone. This compares the protection suits and shows the different areas that are exposed to contamination. As for other PPEs, such as gloves and boots, this impermeable gown could be washed and reused, which would help with the cost of equipment and waste disposal. The PPE removal procedures includes 7 main steps. Step 1. Removal of the face shield. Step 2. Removal of shoulder-length surgical hood. Step 3. Remove tape securing the outer gloves to the impermeable gown. This step could be skipped if the whole body gown were manufactured with pre-made gloves. Step 4. Untie the gown fastener located in the back with the observer's help. To increase the safety of the observer or helper, we added a protection screen such as those used in contained environment enclosures. Removal of the gown with the observer's assistance by pulling the front toggles. Step 5. Removal of the outer gloves. Step 6. Removal of the protective goggles. Step 7. Removal of the coverall with the observer's help through the protection screen. Back loops could be added to the coverall to facilitate its removal by the observer. As we mentioned earlier, we hope that this video will help in making PPE for Ebola workers even safer than it is. Although we are not Ebola specialists or healthcare workers, we believe that if our ideas can help even a little bit, then it is worth to share it with people willing to listen. For more information or comments, please contact us. We would love to talk about our ideas to any willing healthcare organization, NGO, and/or PPE manufacturers. We are also looking for a PPE manufacturer to design a new type of glove. Please let us know if you're interested.